Okay. So before we can start, I need you to pick the theme that we want to work on. Do you want to pick, what do you want to communicate with? Is it another person, or is it another goal that you want to set up? Something that really is important for you.
Does it have to be two persons? Can I communicate better with myself?
You can communicate with yourself, yeah. But you can, but it's when you bring another person, it's still be communication with yourself. It's just a different side of you.
Okay.
And it's easier to see the shadows of yourself when you look at another person. They just mirror.
Okay, how about communicating with my guides? Like the spiritual guides, not physical.
You can do it, yes.
Okay.
You can do it. We'll see how it goes. I've never done it for myself, so like that's why. But I will be. I'm glad that you shared the same, so I will be able to.
I like that idea. I like that idea of being able to
communicate with spiritual guidance.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do. Now I have my theme. So before we can start, I highly recommend to do this 2 minutes exercise and really to activate all connections related to it. So you can use any paper. I use just old paper from my children's workbook.
Yeah, I have the old paper.
I have like in 15 years of school, we have thousands of such pages, and finally I have use of them. Okay, so I'm setting up 2 minutes, and we will do the very quick exercise, like 2 minutes, all associations, any people, anything, good and bad words could be repeated as many times. So 2 minutes about communication with your spiritual guide. Okay, shall we start? Start, let's go. We have 30 seconds, and Tanya, we're doing a 2 minutes exercise about communication with spiritual guides. Okay, so today, done. look at your words and see. So I know that we have a couple more people joining us. So today we are going to do a little bit different class from what we've done on Friday. So today we will do communication, but it will be different style communication instead of Friday class. In Friday class, we will repeat maybe next Wednesday because I think it was a little bit, for those who were there, was a little bit too deep. So I want to start a little bit slower with today. And see, I still have more. Some of us decided to have communication with spiritual guides, but you are free to pick another important subject for you, that it could be communication with another person, communication with a group of people. So please feel free to do what you need to do, like what is the most important. So we've done a 2 minutes exercise, and I invite you to take a look and see, is there any word that unusual that you did not expect related to this subject? Or maybe some word that repeated many, many times that brings your attention. I had several, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times I repeated the word love.
I have love too, but it was unusual. I did not expect to see.
It's all about love, I guess. So if you, for those who joined us a little bit later, if you want to make such exercise, feel free, and you just catch up with us a little bit later. So I'm not, we have Elka. Do we, okay, so we have more people coming. Meg is coming. Okay. Let me know if somebody, if anybody never done Neurographica before, and if we need to repeat some basic steps.
I have not done it, but I watch your video. Diana sent it to me.
Okay,
so I have
good.
Basic idea.
Okay, so yeah, Diana told me about you.
Yeah.
Okay, welcome.
Thank you.
So today we are going to do the exercise, not just exercise, it really could be very deep spiritual work related to communication. So me and a few other people will do communication with a spiritual guide. You can pick another subject, like what do you want to be communicated with? So now I'm switching camera. So, and we'll start to work. Okay, so those are my words, the whole list. Let's see, I want to make sure that you can see everything. Okay, so today we will, the beginning will be very similar to what we've done before, like the inner constraints. So before we can, so we already activated the emotions related to the subject. So now we have to collect all these emotions, all this energy in our body and express it on paper. So I want you to be cautious and start from the feet of your, like from feet, and just collect all the energy to your right hand if you're right-handed person, or left hand if you're lefty. So just collect all these emotions, all this agitation is buzzing in your body now. And take a deep breath, breathe in And when you do breathe out, we just express everything on paper. All these emotions goes on paper. So breathe in and breathe out. So we do such catharsis. Okay, wow, it's I'm not sure if I've done more catharsis related to other subjects. Okay, so you should have this mess on your paper. And I need to make sure that I'm right-handed. Okay, so this is my paper. So what next I need to do? I want to choose a shape that represents me. So which shape from your math represents you? And you just you make it bolder. So I'm just representing this is me. And you just highlight this shape. So I have a little bit. If you want, you can make it even bolder, brighter. But this is what. And next step is to pick the shape that will represent another participant of your communication. So for example, for me, it will be spiritual guides, where in my shape will be spiritual guides. So this shape, and it's interesting that my shape really does not have borders. So for this purpose, I will just continue to the edge. So if I don't, you can lock here, but because I feel like the spiritual guides don't really have the closed shape. They connected to the source. So I want them to be really endless. So I have two shapes now. This is my shape. Quite big. And another shape that is bigger than me, and it goes to infinity. See, maybe you have another shape that really brings your attention. You need to trust your intuition. What would be the next? Do you want to choose another shape or not? And double check if your shapes are connected. If there is a distance between you, I invite you to connect them. Just draw a line between two of you. Because
Anna,
yes?
So, because I wanted to do my whole family, so there's 4 of us. What if there's not enough shapes?
So if you want to do all 4 of them, so first of all, how many shapes have you done already?
I haven't done any because I came in late and I wanted to do the words first. So I was waiting until you're rounding to do the words.
Okay.
The words and then the shapes.
You may pick one shape for the whole family. This is a family, or and just pick yourself and your surrounding family and see how you really interacting, you and the family. Or you can try to pick the other shapes for each member of the family.
Yeah, I was thinking that because I wanted to also to focus on their communication, all of ours mixed together, not just, I don't know, and a communication about schooling.
Okay, about schooling. have you done already your catharsis?
No, I haven't.
So let's do the exercise, catharsis, and we will talk when you will have already something to talk about.
Okay.
Because maybe catharsis will be enough to pick enough shapes. Okay. And what I noticed that if I just continue my shape like this, I already have a heart. Like it already gives me that I'm missing part of myself in the connection to the subject. So something is missing that I'm not aware. Now I'm aware of it, but at the beginning I wasn't. So next step. Everybody picked the shapes. Look, are they sharp to each other? Like, do they have sharp angles, or they nice and smooth? Do you want to show me them? Okay, wait. Let's. I see. First of all, Kenny, nice. Did you pick your shapes, Kenny? Did you pick your shapes?
No, I couldn't quite. I wasn't
So
quite.
just like, okay, so from all these lines that you have, you need to, like, you just attune to the what you have on the paper and allow yourself to see which lines comes forward to you. Like when you thinking about yourself, which lines comes forward to you, and just highlight those lines.
Okay.
And the same you do about another subject, like when you want to, when you're thinking about the spiritual guys, which lines comes to you, like maybe even the whole shape is coming to you forward, and you just highlight that one.
Okay.
Okay, Natalia. Okay, it's very dynamic. Okay, so you picked already line. I see 3 shapes. Yes.
Yes, because I picked one first and then I changed it to another one.
Okay, it's information about how you're switching between. Did you change for the guide or did you change for yourself?
I changed for the guide, but now I'm thinking to change it all together. So
okay.
this one I picked for myself, and it's going out of the paper. And then this one I picked for the guide, but then I switch it to the other one. Switched it to this.
To bigger one.
Yeah.
Okay. So first of all, notice how you are on the side. You are like, you don't look at them.
Yeah.
They point to different directions. So, and we will work with this and see how you can be more involved with communications with them. Okay, let me see. Elka, have you done your catharsis? Perfect, you've done already. What is you? Which shape represents you? Which shape? Yeah. Okay. Okay, and another is sign 8. Yes. Good. So notice how you are much bigger than another shape. That you and this 8, yes, the total, like, and I like that you close. Like, I don't know, the subject maybe it's another. The subject is different, but you notice how you close to each other. There's another subject, and it's really supporting. It has a supporting effect from the back. The only thing that I'm aware of it, that 8 usually look like twisted energy in some point. So there is some, it's not just a free loop, it's a twisting. There is some element of twisting in this energy. We will smooth everything next step, but I just want to make sure that everyone is doing what we're doing. Okay, Tanya. Okay, Tanya, show me where you are. Which shape is you are? Okay, good, big. And another? Okay, so another, and another just goes to infinity, yes? It's so big, it really does not have borders, yeah, okay. Let me. Stan, what? Let me try. I'm trying to. Stan, what is the subject? Can you share it with me?
Communication with the spirit guide.
Oh, okay. So with spirit guide, with spirit guides could be bigger than you are. I'm just like want to make sure that we proportionally are, that you don't give another person so much space. The guides could be so big. It's perfectly fine. Okay, we have.
okay.
Just wanted to make sure. Okay, Meg. Okay, many lines. Notice how some lines are very spiky. Okay. This, okay, so show me you. Okay, so this is you. Wait, I cannot hear it. Let me unmute you. Okay, so you are small.
I'm kind of small in the middle.
Okay.
This is my older son who's 16. This is my younger son who's 12, and this is my husband over here.
Okay, so he is distant.
Yes, because he kind of has been working, you know, I don't know how much involvement he'll have in this.
Okay.
Process.
So notice how small you are.
Yes.
And how big your kids are. Like they are much bigger than you are. Even husband is bigger than you are.
Well, I think, you know, it's funny because I think of myself as kind of central to managing them all. And I think that's why I was attracted to that small part in the middle. But I mean, and really, truly, I feel like I need to support them. You know, this is their own journey, this schooling now, and I need to support them. I mean, it really needs to be about them, not me controlling them. So I think that's why those bigger spaces, you know, kind of.
Notice that on another, like in the middle, you can really expand. This small you will not be able really to support your older son. The younger son is really just, there is only one point to connect. And husband, there is no support from him as well. So I like, if you really want to resolve this, you need to make yourself bigger.
Okay.
Allow yourself to be bigger. Okay, so we've done the first step. Next step we are going to do is to round all corners inside of us. So we start with our shapes and we just round each corner. Corners represent conflicts, inner critiques, inner limitations. So we want to smooth them out and make everything smooth. So energy inside of us are going, and it's interesting, all my Sharpies are dying. Okay, finally. And we just smooth each corner. So because when we round them, we can transform conflict into resource. We allow the energy moving freely, and we allow ourselves to have access to this energy. So we always start with ourselves, and when we find this free movement in our soul, we start understand better other people and other sources as well. So and pay attention what is going on in your body. Well, any emotions are showing up when you smoothing all those corners, because some emotions can start appear related to, like especially when you know that this another participant of your communication is so close to you, or maybe opposite, so distant from you. And just pay attention to body, to emotions, what kind of insights you have. Because when we start to repeating the same simple action, our mind usually calm down and something very important starts appearing. So we have this. I'm already glad that I found missing piece of myself, of my heart. And by rounding all corners, I'm integrating this piece into my shape. Okay, I'm done with myself and I like what I see. Now I'm into, and it's interesting, like when I was able to smooth all the corners inside of me, in my drawing, most of the corners of my spiritual guides already smoothed as well. So the biggest part of the work is already done. So I'm ready to accept the guidance. For those who have a different subject, look how you feel when you, do you feel complete? Do you feel supported when you rounded all the corners? Or maybe you feel lonely. It could be too. So stay with these feelings. Like there is no good or bad feelings. We just observe them at the beginning. We recognize them and allow ourselves to feel this. Like if If you feel sad, be sad. It's okay. So everything will be changing. Everything will be transforming during the process, but we allow ourselves be with what we're truly feeling. You don't have to feel good at the beginning. You don't even have to feel good at the ending. So you just allow yourself to feel the true feelings. I'm rounding quite fast because I've just done it many, many times. Okay. And when I'm done with myself, with another participant, I'm start rounding all the corners from the rest of the shape, the rest of the catharsis. And it's interesting that like when I start rounding the rest of the lines, my movement become like very slow. There is some. I'm rounding other people much slower than I can round myself. I'm very gentle with other people. If you have any questions, you can unmute yourself and just ask the question. This is it. Don't hesitate. Okay.
So I feel abandoned, and I don't know where it is coming from.
Because the distance.
Yeah.
And it's we're bringing the subject of very big, the guidance, and it's abandon. It's not just abandonment, but it could be the feeling loss of direction. And allow yourself to feel it. Don't try to make yourself like, it's not about entertainment. It's about allowing yourself to feel, and maybe even scan the body. Where in your body this abandonment is living? Like where in the maybe it's a specific part of the body. So notice.
Right in the throat.
Right in the throat. Yeah, something is not like the throat is about emotions, about speaking the truth of yourself, like about what you feel, how you can express it. And it's if you are suppressed, like if you were, it's not you suppressed, but like if you did not allow yourself to speak up, because many thinking like that it's not polite, that you are not allowed. There could be different reasons to do it. This is could be very sensitive area. And next to the throat, we have thyroids, and it's affecting them. Like when we suppress our emotions, we suppress thyroids, or we activate them too much. It could be both ways. Because so much energy is concentrated there. it's a lot of physical results. It may cause many physical issues. So don't try, like, we are not right now trying to understand why you feel abandoned. It could be for many reasons. We just allow yourself to feel this feeling, this emotion, without any judgment. Everything as it's organic as it should be, and we will observe it, we notice it, we recognize it, and we will give it support. And maybe the reason will appear a little bit later when you have enough support. Okay? So now what I want to see, like, I already rounded all my corners. It's become very bright and very black. So next step, what I want to start dissolve the shape in surroundings, in a social like in my social surroundings. So I'm continue with the narrow lines, each sharp angle or any loops that are hanging. So I'm just continue with lines to the edge, like, so I can feel that I belong to this society, not just to myself. And I don't have to hide my spiritual guides from society. I can, they not just could be shared, but they can help to others. And so on. Because I can help others. And I've already done from inside this one. I already done all this outside angles, and it's still be not enough. And when I reach to other people, so the people can reach to me, and I start creating this narrow line that is going through me, through my spiritual guides. The narrow line has bionical qualities, and it goes to your subconscious mind. It's because it's so safe and organic. It's our mind allow this line go deeper, go to the core of our subconscious in a very gentle way. So we don't want to be overwhelmed, but we want to be allowed to accept what we are missing. So we are just, so now I feel like I have enough lines, and again we're going back and start rounding all those corners. This interaction with society needs to be harmonized, and when we round corners, we bringing more harmony and balance. We reduce conflicts with others and with ourselves first. Do you feel comfortable to round corners inside of you, or you want to start with somebody else? Do you want to fix somebody else, or you will feel free to round your corners? Because we always try to help, and we think that the problem is in somebody else because I'm so working on myself. Like, so guess what? We're still working and keep working and changing ourselves, and other people will just resonate to us. And it's a process. It's not just a quick fix. It's allows time and a lot of patience. So, but to be patient and to see the really the beauty where it's where there is still be some mess, you need to find the beauty inside of you. And this is how we will discover this beauty. We will use colors in just in a few minutes, but stay with this process. Notice if your reactions have changed. Do you feel when, especially when the lines going towards you, because they can go from, like, when I was going through the society, like from the society, I actually brought closer myself and my guides. Like there is a, because when the lines go through my shape, they enrich me. They really makes me more interesting. The more it helps me to understand myself better. And again, from the side, or from this side, like when the society try to reach to me, it helps to understand more what the purpose of my guides are. Like that they brought closer to me to protect, to support, to share the wisdom. For me, it's even not the wisdom is more important, but the presence, that I'm not alone. And this is the most important, that the presence of God and guidance is always available. So try to feel it in your body, the presence. Do you have this presence, feeling of the presence? How are you doing? So Mike, when you made yourself bigger, how do you feel? When you made yourself bigger, can you show me your picture? Wow, okay, so it's a lot of many lines. I see, one more time.
Sorry. I felt fine making myself bigger, but when I started rounding, I started feeling really shaky. And I still kind of feel really shaky. It's funny.
Keep rounding, because it's a lot of, it's quite a leap for you from small, recognize yourself bigger. So you really have to allow yourself, and this will go through the physical shaking. No question about it.
Okay.
That you are that you are not the smallest in the family.
Yeah.
Keep breathing.
Okay.
And if you're still shaking, so make sure that you drink enough water. Okay? Okay, good. Okay. Does anyone have any questions? So keep rounding corners. Your body can have very strong reactions, but keep doing the roundings because it's we activating our neuron system, and it's very important to finish the rounding. So if you, for any reason, think that like, oh no, I'm not going to finish, this is the your reaction that you don't want to change. Do you want to come back to the what was outdated patterns, or you want to create something different impression about yourself, about your possibilities, about your support system? So just at least do rounding. So you may not finish with coloring, but the rounding is very important because you will be agitated. We activated a lot of energy, and the energy needs to be settled. The energy needs to be harmonized before you can move forward. It's very important for your emotional what's the word to emotional high
feelings.
I'd say. Okay.
I have a question
Wait,
or
let me...
a comment.
Okay.
Maybe I'll show you too. There's what I'm noticing is my confusion with my shape, because there's a lot going on, and like when you were saying, pay attention if you're rounding corners in yourself first. I started doing myself, and then I wasn't sure if I was in myself or out of myself because there's so much, and it's, I don't know. And that for me brings up a frustration, something that I know, an old emotion, like I don't trust, I second guess myself. It's all this.
Do you still very clearly see the boundaries of yourself?
I'm looking for them, and I do know where they are. But I have to focus on it. I have to really.
You can take another color and just make them visible. You need to understand your boundaries very clearly, because you're trying, like unconsciously, you're trying to dissolve yourself in higher powers. And it could be very frustrating. So you need to clearly understand who you are and where you are in this universe. Like, this is myself, and I'm not trying to be bigger or trying to be smaller than I am. So like, recognize your boundaries.
Yeah.
So different color will help.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else? Any other questions?
Yeah, I have one question. So some lines is very strong. If I don't know if you can see it, like like this one. So it's like very straight. Is there any way to smooth them? I don't know how. I mean, or it should be that way.
So you have a very strong triangle in your drawing, like in your The triangle it may represent the
just see now triangle.
The conflict. You don't see it, like if you follow this straight line, down. You will
so
see
now
the corner. So the
So-
triangle may represent leadership as well. Leadership and action, like the really that you need to take some kind of action in this
Mhm.
communication between you and another participant. So it's up to you. Do you feel comfortable about the straight lines, or you don't really like them?
Well, I don't like this one. This one you just opened because I didn't see any distance. But this one is bothering me. It's like a stick.
So another one is still be very straight because you haven't rounded all the corners. When you round them,
Yeah. Mhm.
it will be a little bit different. And you can bring more lines from the stick. And
From
it
here?
will, yes, and they can just be like a little bit dissolve it, or
Mhm.
make a line like the curve around the stick that it will be a little bit
Yeah, I got
kind
it.
of.
Mhm.
But
I see.
sticks could be very helpful. They can
Oh.
give you the core of the subject, like you can give you a lot of support.
Mm. I see. Okay, thank you.
Can you show me on your Diana? Can you show me yourself where you are? Which shape? Which shape
I'm
you are?
I'm that fat like D,
Okay. So
like
show me.
this. If you see that around,
Yes. Yeah. D.
kind of like a D fat.
Okay. And another person or another participant? of the
Well,
community?
that's the thick one. That was the person. Yeah,
Okay.
like that one.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
When actually it's a family, so maybe
family.
family should be like this. It's well, it was here somewhere. Basically, it's like my initial, BD.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I see that.
It's interesting how, yes.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw that, Diana. I saw the B and the D.
Yeah, so B
I didn't
dissolves.
catch the triangle immediately, but I see the B
Yeah.
and the D.
Yeah, I didn't see that line until Anna showed, but this has bothered me. But you say it's a strong, then I put some flour on it.
Yeah, because it could be a trunk of a family tree.
Ah. Okay. Okay.
That you can just like, it will really cover, because your D, you see how your D is if you look at D, it does not have the strong base. It's a little bit crooked D. But if you will have this support from the stick, you will have this very strong support from the family. The family will have a very strong, and you will feel the support from them. You don't have to cover them and support the family. You will feel the support from the family towards you.
Oh. Because
And
I always think I have to protect them. Okay, let them do the job.
Yes, yes, allow them to be bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Allow them to be stronger.
Mm-hmm. Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
The oldest one, so she should have.
Yeah, thank you. Olga, you can mute your microphone. Mute your
I
microphone.
want to show whatever came on my paper.
Okay.
Do you see it?
So, so first of all, the lines around you, like the society, is a little bit, I cannot say spiky, but it's there is an inner conflict in the society, in the surroundings.
He will tell you what's what.
Absolutely, perfect, perfect. I'm feeling.
Wait. So let me.
Idea why.
And another thing that, like when you try to round corners, You see how you make these corners brighter? You make them like dark black, but you still see, but they still be spiky. So let me show you on my drawing. So I'll show you how that you have to pay attention to. So for example, if I have, and my camera, come on, turn on the focus. Okay. So if I have two lines, and if I use a rounding like this, you see how it looks so dark, and so, and it still be, it's usually it happens when you resolved already conflict or invest so much time in it and energy that you will remember for very long that, oh my gosh, the communication with this person took so much energy of myself, that you will cherish the energy involved in it, but not the communication itself. So what you need to make the communication stronger, make it bolder, so you continue the lines, and the whole line will be strong and beautiful. And in this case, the energy will not stuck here. It will be smooth movement, and it will be much more organic communication. So I know it's not every, like for example, my father, when like he is doing, like he has all this strong the spikes, because he cannot really forget what he had to resolve, and it's very common in many people's communication. So make sure that all the lines are smooth and strong.
That's what I'm feeling. I feel that then I will lose myself. I will lose the shape, because I will exaggerate all the lines.
Don't worry, like you will make sure that, like, first of all, we're cleaning our mess, past mess, and you will feel, because this is not just communication, but it's the energy, how the energy inside of you moving. And if you have these blockages, you will not be able to support yourself, because they're stuck here, they're stuck there. So you need to make sure that the movement is organic inside of you.
Okay.
So don't afraid to lose yourself. We will make sure that you will see yourself.
Sure. How about the society? Are we smoothing any lines there or no?
We will, but you still need to make sure that you smooth all the corners inside of you.
Okay.
You're working on ourselves first, and when we've finished with ourselves, we will start smoothing the society, because society will resonate to us. You will be surprised, like when you harmonize yourself, when you're at peace, people around you will be gentler, they will be kinder, they will be, some people will disappear. And it's because everything is a vibration. And if you're in a higher vibration, people with lower vibration will not be able to really approach to you directly. So, but for this, you need to smooth all the corners inside of you first. Okay?
Okay.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. Yes, yes. Thank you.
Take your time. Okay, so did anyone else had a question? Wait, let me find. Tanya, yes? Okay, so you're pink.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see you.
Feels a lot better.
But I have. Okay.
I have a lot of shapes. I don't know if I should make them more circular. There's some different, like, I don't know. Is it enough? I rounded corners, but should I make?
So when you have like so bold lines, make sure that when you round, the rounding is proportional. Like if, let me show you on my drawing. Like if I have two bold lines, and so if I have to, and I will just rounding a little bit here and a little bit here. From the distance, the whole intersection still looks spiky. So when we have a deep communication, don't afraid to smooth it bigger. So make sure that everything is proportionally adjusted, that we really want to resolve this big subject between, like, you see how it's different now.
Yeah.
So don't afraid to lose something when in roundings, because when you lose something, you will find more harmony.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so I'm coming back to my drawing, and when I finished rounding all the corners inside of me, I'm working with the shape that represents my spiritual guides. It's not like I'm trying to make my spiritual guides better, but I'm trying to make sure that my vision of them is more perfect, that I allow myself to accept them in more harmonious way. So it's not about changing, it's about accepting in safer way, in harmonious way. And I just enjoy it. So this is a part of meditation. So when we just go deep in the simple movement, in the simple concentrated action, we concentrate on a small step at a time. No big decisions right now. We're just around one corner at a time. Interesting. I just noticed that in my body starts some energy starts accumulating. So pay attention to your body. Do you need? And I did not say, but if any of you need a break, please don't hesitate. Take a break. Take care of yourself. So and if everyone needs a break, we can just make a short break for everyone, like 10-15 minutes. I'm not very good at organizing breaks, so let me know. So I'm getting so lost in the process. Like, the time does not really matter to me at some point. Okay. Notice, how do you breathe? Do you breathe deep enough? Do you still breathing, or you just trying to hold? And another thing that is interesting to notice, like, do you breathe in and hold the breath out? It's not, some people prefer to breathe out, and some people just go deeper on breathing. So what is the, do you have a balance between your breathe in and breathe out? Really. It's interesting that we are doing this thing, that I'm doing this thing. What I've noticed that it doesn't matter how I turn, I still have to see, I see two linked hearts. Like, this was original shape, and this was the heart that originally I seen. But if I turn it, the heart becomes like this. It's a different heart. So there is some two hearts. And if I just continue a little bit here, it will become a star. Something like I just continued, and I just see this will become a star. For those who does not know me, modesty is not my thing, so I will be a star. on my drawing. So this is what and I'm so glad I was able to see it. And if you need more time to round, please don't rush. We still have enough time. So make sure that you round all the corners. Maybe you will need to repeat the video later. Watch this video later to if we are going ahead of you, but you follow your speed, follow your time. So don't, because when you rush too much, you will feel uncomfortable, and it's never brings joy. So I want you to be attuned to yourself and to your speed. That's why I'm not rushing. Like that's why classes are usually lasting like for 3 hours, because the deep process usually takes time. And when we try to make it faster, it brings more conflicts. And we have enough of them. And I just enjoy bringing more lines. Make the drawing different. And you can use different markers, different thickness of lines, bolder and thinner or thicker. It will give the depth of the drawing. So this is a Graphica. It really gives beauty of unusual lines. Very organic. So one more thing that I want you to be aware, to look at your shape and see how many lines do you have on each side. Are they balanced? Do you feel enough supported from the ground? Do you feel enough connected from the top? And on sides, left and right side, because each of the sides have very significant meanings. The grounding, the lower side is about your grounding. It's about connection to your to the earth, to the reality. The upper, do we have enough connection to the higher realms? Do we see the help from the sky, from the divinity? And left side is usually represents your mother, your feminine side. Right side is usually represents father side. So this is a very simplified. It's in most cases it's much more complex. I'm just trying to show you that it's important to have balance between all of the sides. That all sides need to be explored with your lines, with your because lines will help you to access the gift that those sides can give you. Like I want more lines on the bottom, so I feel more grounded, that I feel more supported and feeling present and current moment. and I want to be connected to my left side, to my mother's side, to my father's side. It does not really matter at this moment if you have a good relationship or challenging relationship with your family members, because in your mother's side and father's side, besides your parent, there are so many ancestors that for sure can give you support. So it's not just you limited to access support from your parents, but you, which is great and very helpful if you can, but sometimes it's impossible. So try to access to this ancestry line and just take the support from who is willing to give it to you. To maybe your great parents. It doesn't matter if you've never seen them. They still be in your blood. They still be in your DNA. So feel this connection to who is around you, who was before you, who will be after you. You still have this great resources that we usually are not aware of them. It's not just we're doing a little bit more than just Neurographica. We're doing more like art constellation, like when we accessing to our ancestry lines as well. When we find the resources in what we have right now. Okay, so I think I have I think I have enough lines. And you need to understand, like when we're accessing our subconscious mind, there is no coincidences. Everything could be a symbol for you. For example, for me, it's interesting that all my pencils are like dying. I need new instruments. So I'm ready to buy new instruments. And on spiritual, it could be another instrument that I can start looking for. I thought I have enough, but
Anna,
yes,
I made the whole thing disappear.
okay, good. But look how huge circle appears.
Yes.
What would be the circle?
Well, I have the idea of like the oneness, that
Okay.
the guides are actually me.
But the oneness is, first of all, it's you belonging to the oneness. Show me your picture again. Okay. And you see how you really belong to it, like the first original shape that you are.
Yes, it's still there.
It's actually on the, like almost on the edge. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
And everything that you change, like it really does not, like what my message is, like it doesn't matter how you try to find different shapes. Everything belongs to oneness. It still be part of the bigger picture. So you just accept that everything has its own place.
Yes.
But notice that like the oneness, that there is this big triangle that is going through the oneness.
Yeah. Yes, yes, this one.
And it's I don't feel like it's a conflict, but it's really force that like moving forward. It's not time for the peace. It's time to make some, to develop something. So, and you are sitting on this triangle, your original shape.
Yeah.
So it will be interesting what kind of colors you will use on it. So how is in your body? Do you feel any changes?
I feel shivers, and especially now, but I feel more more secure, more openness, but shivers on my skin.
But it's when I usually have a shivers, I have wow, I'm on the right track usually.
Aha moment.
Yes, aha moment, because it's just an indication like, okay, so I'm going in the right direction. So, but it's very important for you not try to limit anything in shapes. It's specifically for you. Like, don't try to limit, and because everything is just part of a bigger picture.
Right.
So it's your message, because for other people it will be different messages.
Okay. Thank you.
Anna,
Yes, let me
thank you for telling me not to be afraid to lose myself. Because what I found is I like it.
You like it?
I cannot, yeah, I cannot believe that the twist 8, it just kind of dissolved into a shape that in the beginning I was, oh my God, I'm never gonna like that. And I just gave up the thought and start doing like just doing organically what it came to me to be more rounded. And until now, I like it, but I feel this tendency, can you see it here? To immediately go into society. Like enough on myself. Now that I like it, let me go and explore different lines. You understand what I mean?
And you just different lines will help you to expand yourself.
Got it. Okay.
Because you maybe not just go too far, start rounding like from the, you are core of the drawing, you're in the middle, and try to start rounding around yourself. So just integrate a little bit society and go further and further and further and accept as much as you want. Don't get, like, if you go too far from yourself and start exploring very unusual stuff, it could be uncomfortable. I want you to be able to retract yourself at any moment and feel secure. So don't jump too much.
Yeah, that's me. I jump too much and then I see, oh my God, I forget to do that. Now let's go back. And it's really hard sometimes going back. Yeah, because you lose yourself.
Because it's too much distance. So
distance. Yeah,
so,
I've created
so
distance.
be very safe. Like from like start surroundings. Immediate surroundings. Good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Another thing that I want you to say that like when we really trying to lose ourselves, like afraid of losing ourselves, it's about ego. It's not good or bad. It's just the fact that we are not allow ourselves to let go some of our ego. We like, and it's different people, different situations. So, but when we it's not a question about be dissolved in everything, but be able to explore everything and decide what you want to be influenced by or what you don't want to be influenced by. So you still have the free will to accept something or not.
Yes.
Like
Makes sense.
and give this permission to other people to be accept you or not.
Oh yeah, I have no problems with other people. I love them. It's about me accepting myself because I set up high ego standards for me.
Of course, like you wouldn't be here without.
Okay.
And ego, we need ego because ego really moves us forward. It helps us to develop, to make us ourselves better and to achieve something in the world. So I'm like big fan of ego, but big fan of healthy ego. So without really breaking surrounding like the boundaries of other people. So it's not, and I'm still learning because I'm very pushy person. So if I think that it's right, I will try to inspire everybody, no matter if they want to be or not. So
yeah, exactly.
it will be. We all need to be aware of it. That like everyone has a different pace and different goals and different resources. So nobody needs to be the same as you are. It doesn't matter how beautiful you are.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm already starting to coloring. And when we color in Neurographica, we start uniting several segments with the same color. And we just, it helps us to see the bigger picture. You can color just unusual shapes or that are formed by lines, or you may start coloring the shape that you already seen and you want to remember this shape. I would highly recommend you to use at least 3 colors inside of your shape, and they can overlap. They don't need to be pure colors, so you can mix and blend colors. So for me, it's very important to remember that I am the star. And I will use today I will use Diana style, these flowers blooming. And usually when we start doing colors, like I know that some of you still rounding corners, and it's perfectly fine. So don't rush. Keep rounding, keep solving the conflicts and harmonizing yourself. because it's very important, and it's much more important than you just continue with us right now. So, and what I wanted to say, and I forgot. And I just forgot. It's okay. Probably not very important. Okay, so now I need to see. I still remember what the shape was, my spiritual guide, but I feel like I'm ready to make it bigger. And it's already have this line, and I just expand it to the huge circle. Remember that the paper really does not limit us. This is just a small portion of our reality, of our brain. It's much bigger, and we can just recognize that it could be even bigger by portion of it. So, and I created more angles, and I want to make them smooth and integrated. What I've noticed that like only when I was able to make myself bigger, I recognize other resources much bigger. Other people are much bigger. That we can see only what we are in other people and other beings as well. So if I feel that I'm small, I kind of by this vision limit other participants. And I allow myself to see support and help everywhere. That's so huge that does not really fit on my conscious right now. And it's still there. I don't feel lost in it. I feel kind of, I feel safe. Yeah.
Rising star.
Oh, yes. And I like that this is like fireworks inside of me. It's not outside yet, but inside. Why not? I can allow myself to be whatever I want, at least on paper. And when I feel and really enjoy what I see and how I feel, I will be unconsciously will find a way to shine in the reality. It's not just let's play with this, but it's really helps yourself to feel, how do I feel harmoniously? Like when you don't know what the love is, it's impossible to find it. Like you need to see what you're looking for. You have to imagine, you have to really feel it before you start looking for it. Like there is something like woman does not know what she wants until she sees it on somebody else. So we need to see it on paper, what we really want, what we really desire, and find the way to recognize it in our surroundings, because most likely it's already there or very close. So we can be very actively looking for it. Okay, so let's see, what would be my...
Anna, and that's what I think I love about this technique is that, you know, how you would have us leave a space for something, some kind of resource that we have that we're not even aware of. And it just kind of helps prime your brain to see these things, these gifts. And I love that about this technique.
It's all about awareness. Awareness about ourselves and awareness about what we have around us and what we expect from others. Because we very often we don't really know what we don't like about other people and what we like about other people. So it's many opportunities to explore yourself. Okay, now I'm going to color my spiritual guides. You see how, from what I had at the beginning, how huge they become. They will be busy. Okay, so where's my favorite color? And maybe in those new lines, something else will appear. So some new shapes that could be very interesting for you. It could be new projects. It could be new people, new possibilities. And I was just talking and I noticed that this is really starting appearing in circle. I don't bring the artificial circles. Like sometimes when we have no support whatsoever and there is no way we can recognize it in already existing surroundings, we may just draw a circle and say like, okay, so this is a support that I need. I need to survive, because nothing really can help me in my surrounding. It's very rare, but it could be. And in this case, just draw a circle wherever you want, closer to you, or maybe supporting you, or maybe just appearing on the horizon, and you will recognize it when it shows. But usually I try to find those circles in already existing lines. I tried to recognize this already in what has the potential of support, what has this potential of help that I'm looking for right now. And the help could be different. Help could be friends, family. It could be professional paid help. So maybe you can find somebody who can give you techniques. It could be faith is very helpful. Some book could be very inspiring. So it's not like you need to have the help that all the time, the same that for other people. Yours could be very unique. Or movie. I'm like, it's interesting. Like when, for me, the communication with my spiritual guides is very often go through the opera. Like every time I go to opera, I have a new message. It's a very clear message, and it's could be, you just need to find like which way this help can communicate with you. And the same about people. So you need to develop your own alphabet to communicate. So they aware what you expect from them, and you aware what they trying to tell you. Because words usually don't say what we really need. They cannot express all meanings. And if we're talking about communication with, for example, with your husband, and if he is not available in parenting, maybe he can be very helpful at something else. So you could be like washing dishes, or maybe doing something other stuff that will help you to really find more time and more energy to do something else. And it's people are changing, especially like for men. You need to tell them, like, don't expect that they will guess what you need. Like, you have to be very clear, very specific in directions.
Anna?
Yes?
This hasn't happened to me before. I ended up upside down.
Wait, Kenny. Upside down. Okay, show me one more time.
So I think the original orientation was like this.
Mm-hmm.
And my higher self, the guides are up here, and then I was in the middle, but the way I drew it was like this. The way I colored it.
And you see how it looks different now. Like if you're really rotating, like who is, who supports who?
Right.
Like if you are on the bottom and everything is like, you become supporting for the rest of the world or like higher self.
So-
But if you on the top, you will have a support. Do you feel like you have enough support from this shape?
So this is me in the middle.
Okay.
And then this was the higher self. But again, it should have been like that. And that should have been the higher self up here. And it was almost encompassing me. Like I kept losing sight of it in multiple times, trying to figure out who was who.
Maybe it's trying to tell you that you can be even bigger, like that your higher self is even bigger. And you just unite all this shape that appears in one bigger shape. That all this that not colored part of you, that like one supposed to be the higher self of you at the beginning, that maybe you integrate it as well in the higher self. Something that you still missing, and that's why you're rotating and losing and rotating and losing. But if you unite everything, it will be a different shape.
Okay.
Try to just there is a different, you see how you have this different layers of lines, like the different boundaries. Myself, bigger myself, like higher self and higher. And it's interesting that you say that it's a higher self. Maybe what you was missing is a lower self, that you still have this ancient connection to the earth. Like in shamanic world, there is there is a lower world and higher world. They both are very well developed. It's it's not like a heaven and hell. It's a different energies, and both of them are very important to integrate. So maybe you need to integrate not just higher self, but the lower self as well.
And I see a lot of similarities here.
Yes, because you're still drawing yourself. It's always about you, and you changing very gently. You don't force yourself, like be very different.
So just expand and just color this part as because I was kind of
and it could be different qualities. It could be a little bit different colors. Play with it. Like what kind of color would you be? It's not necessary need to be everything smooth and pastel. There could be some intensity in yourself.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Experiment with. I hope I helped you. I still repeat, like rotating my drawing. I wanted to show you one of my drawings that I did for. It's about my communication with my husband. So this is star, is me, and this is my husband. But what I've noticed after I finished, that if I rotate it, like this one, he is pushing me forward and he is like really supporting me. So I feel supported by him. But if I rotate 180 degrees, I really support him as well. So it's about supporting both ways. It's not just one of the people is on top and another just serve every day. So it's really about rotating positions. Who wants to move, who needs to move forward, and who needs the support. So this is about rotating. So it could be a message in the in this particular aspect, that you can rotate and see different side of yourself. Okay. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask me. So I wanted to ask you, so first month of the social distance, I had so much communication, and last week I felt like I'm already getting a little bit exhausted from all the communications. Do you feel the same, or is it just me? So I'm just curious, is it that everyone has this a little bit not just overwhelming was the first time, but it's really feeling that everyone was so afraid to be distant, that communicated so much, that now I feel like I'm more communicating even more than it used to be before the social distancing.
But you've been so busy with all of this, all of your classes.
I love classes. It's not just about classes, but I have participated in several groups that we meditate, we get together, there is always chatting with somebody that I'm just like, I wanted to ask, is it my personal, or is it everyone has a little bit get tired from all this communication? So be honest. Because
And you know me, I'm always connection with people anyway. And I think I don't have a time. Morning start from the texting for 20 people. And by 5 o'clock, I'm like, goodness, I haven't done anything at home. So I'm still keep busy myself.
yes, and I've noticed the same, that like there is so much going on that I'm always like say like, oh, this is an opportunity to spend with your family. And my family say like, when we can see you. I still cooking a lot and like all these interesting things, but yes, it's it's how the situation is changing, but really nothing has changed because we are the same. We are still communicating when we're far away from everyone. Okay, so
I always get exhausted from communicating with people.
it's another question, I guess.
I have met so many new friends. I mean, people, not friends, but we still not so close, but so like I've never met in my entire, since I moved to America.
Nice. This is an opportunity to meet new people. Yes, I'm glad you did.
And for me, it's actually an opportunity to rest and go more within myself, because before the situation, I was just all over the social spectrum, doing everything with everyone, developing a fear of missing out. And now it's just, I feel that I can allow myself to do things for myself.
Great, like use this opportunity, because it's I can't believe it's already 1 month has passed, and I really enjoyed it. Like you can, it's still be your decision that you want to be involved in communication or not. It's not
Exactly.
like you have this, you just turn off the cell phone and you will be by yourself. It's And no, and the world will still spinning, and nothing really has changed. I'm really like enjoyed it. It's changing the priorities in our lives, and like really what is important and what is cannot be postponed, and what is really has the value.
This is definitely one of my priorities. This class.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
I am so glad that I can have time to take a class like that. If we did not have the situation, maybe I will miss that class.
Maybe there wasn't such class because
maybe they will, yeah. So I really feel grateful in our level, and nothing has changed, but my priorities have, for me at least. Thank you, guys.
Thank you for sharing. It's very inspiring.
Ilka generally is very inspiring person.
Thank you, Dianchi.
Anna, I'm feeling very hesitant to start coloring.
Okay, so let me find you. Do you want to show you your drawing? Oh, look, all these beautiful circles. And you can even, and like there is a huge one.
Yeah, I started with the huge ones and then I saw these other ones and then had to make them.
And it's interesting how all the shapes that you've seen people at the beginning, they kind of transformed in circles, all of them. And it's circles are more proportional and they're more connected. So this is really, the message could be that, because circle is about seeing the whole potential, the perfect potential, not what we see, not what we used to recognize in the person, but the whole potential and what the true size of it. And it's interesting how the everything is aligned in the size, like your husband is big, your kids are smaller. The only thing I don't see, you in the middle. This is you. Okay. And where is your son? The older one? This is, oh, he is. Oh, you're ready to let him go. And be good. And one more thing, like seeing what you, okay. So what the huge circle is, what you could be supported by, what is like really give the support to the whole family, not just to you, but the whole family. You turned off. I cannot hear you. So let me see.
There I am. So there, first I found this circle, the big one, and then I found this circle.
Okay.
And then I think I found this one, and then maybe this one, and then I can't remember when, no, maybe this one. I don't know what this one is. This was some random circle that was there. And I don't know actually what this one is either. This was another random circle, but this was kind of like around my younger son. This was kind of around my older son. This was me. and this was my husband.
And look how your circle is really leaning to your husband. He is supporting on this picture. He is supporting, and he is complex. There is no question about so many lines inside of him, but like allow him to be this in perfect shape. You first of all have to, in your you have to see him that there is a possibility that he could be the circle, that he could be express all his potential. And I still thinking like, what is the biggest support for the whole family? And it could be two circles, just one in front of another. It could be a bigger family, like the ancestry line from his side and from your side, because there is a lot of energy from that one, and like they really pushing you forward, like they really cover your back. So there is no question about it. And I like that the older son is already getting a little bit distant. So he kind of explores the surroundings. So
yeah.
So there is other circles around. It could be projects. It could be other people that still be involved in your family, and you don't really just recognize them. That you still they still be immediate family for you, like your brother or your. I don't think there is a mom here, so I think it's a mom could be in one of the circles, like part of the circles, so in bigger ones. So because she is the ancestry line as well. So if you want feel the support from the bigger circles, you can bring even more lines from the edge of the paper towards you and towards your husband, and feel it. So yeah, that's all I want to say right now.
Okay, thank you.
Do you feel different in yourself? Like, do you like what the change in, because you are shaking?
I was when I first started smoothing out my initial shape, which is here, that I did increase the size to, because originally it was this. It was just this thing, and then I increased it to here. But I do feel, but you know, it's funny. I felt shaky, and then I got really thirsty, and I do feel I feel calmer about it, about this. Although I feel like there's so many lines in the middle, like you said, add more lines, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's gonna turn all black.
It's another question that it could be. You need to clearly communicate in the family. Everybody needs to communicate everything, like open your cards and talk to family.
Yes.
And listen.
Yes.
Listen what they want to say, because it could be not what you expect. Everyone has something to say, for sure.
Yeah.
And good luck with coloring.
Thanks.
And if you want to involve your husband, like make sure that you use the same colors, some of it, not it could be on different scale, but a little bit colors from like what that you use inside of you in him, and what his initial color in you, so you can have this understanding. Each of you can understand better, from not just mentally, but from the open heart, from emotional side.
All right.
Okay.
I'm gonna mute myself.
Anna,
yes?
I just want to tell you that I don't know. I feel more difficulties with my left part. I don't know. I just kind of left it there.
Okay, left side.
Yeah.
Mom side.
Mom. So, okay.
So don't be gentle. So, and when you go to the left side, you can just there is, like, remember, there is no judgment, there is no analytics. Right now we just color, we just rounding each corner, one corner at a time, and we smooth our perception towards your mom, not your mom, but your perception, and just breathe, drink, breathe, sip of water, and like really feel that you're breathing. Make sure that you're breathing. Because like you see how many lines there is a lot of crossings for sure. But it means that it could be a lot of potential there. Like there is a lot of energy there. And like if you if there is a conflict, and it sometimes could be even anger, to hold this anger, do not explore. It really requires so much life energy to hold this, that you could be drained of energy, like, because all your life force going to not looking there, not dealing with this. So it's really, you're doing it not for your mom, you're doing it first of all for yourself, because this is, we're dealing with your side, not about somebody else. Good luck.
Thank you. And I just want to mention that I saw that this twisted 8 took a different shape.
Is it bigger now? Is it untwisted?
Yeah, it's a bigger. It's bigger, and it's just a shape instead of 8. I don't know if you see here whatever happened here. It's bigger, and it's even more integrated with my shape.
Good. And it's like, you see, this really helps you to support you. And it was at the beginning, it's not just supporting, it was a like of protection you from the left side as well. But now it's more hugging you.
Yes, exactly how I feel. Exactly.
In safer way.
So it makes sense.
So allow yourself to enjoy this hug. So allow yourself to be hugged, because it could be a lot of support. Like physically, like physically feel it.
I'm feeling it. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay. Okay.
I had to go strong on my personal color. You ready?
Okay. Show me. Wow, you are.
I had to go
bold.
so that I could see myself.
Yes, and it's not.
It was.
So first of all, you know that there is no just one meaning for one color. There is always a scale of color, and there is always a scale of emotions related to it. So the red color could be anger on one side, but it could be joy on another side. It's like the same red color. And the blue could be deep sorrow, deep emotions, like really like a whale of emotions. And it could be wisdom as well. So you have this a lot of anger about deep emotions, something just like, it's really like boiling water here. A lot of energy, but
Yeah.
I'm glad that you allow yourself to look at it and recognize those qualities inside of you, because they very powerful. It could be very big motivation to move forward.
Yeah.
And this bright yellow around you, there is so much inspiration that's going on around you. So the so notice that, so this so your shape has a kind of two sides.
Yeah.
There is some kind of split, like it's like zigzag, yes?
Zigzag, yeah.
So how do you feel about this zigzag? How do you feel about this intense colors? You are definitely visible now.
Yeah, I'm making progress. Well, I tried to be subtle with the crayon, and then I couldn't see myself from everything else because the shape is so hard to see.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also hard to see when you can see it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's sharp and edgy, and even when I round the corners, it's still zigzaggy and at the same time, it's bright and cheerful and emotional and expressive. It's like opposites, right? It's bright. It's
yes, the contrast is really
harsh,
striking. And how do you feel that everything is so cheerful around and you have such a emotional charge inside of you? It should not be very comfortable.
Not great. It's not what I wanted to see. wanted harmony, and I didn't start with bright red, but I'm looking at what I have, and I decided not to use bright pink because I don't have all the colors that the stores are closed, right? It's like things like that. So
what do you think would make the sorry, Tiny, for interruption, but what do you think would make this very bright, very intense shape more balanced with the rest of the world around you? What would make it more comfortable?
Well, as you ask that, I see that I'm isolated. It's like I'm standing alone in my colors, in my emotions. And there's no going back. Like I can't undo my colors. So it would be to recognize the emotions that are around me, that whatever is inside me is also outside me too.
So I don't want you to undo your colors, but I want maybe what you want to do, try to do the gradient from your shapes, from the red, like deep red, like very intense, to the very gentle red, like, and just feel this surroundings with your emotions, like, but gradually, like, don't just like do the waterfall of deep emotions, but maybe, and you can start even just do the lines, red lines, deep blue lines, like start leaking of those emotions outside, because this is a very contrasting, like very, and it's so intense that, and so isolated, that so suppressed from outside that it can explode at any moment. So we want to be very safe and start leaking this intense emotions to outside, and maybe start doing the gradient from the red to the pale red and paler and paler, and until you feel those spiritual guides. Like your subject is about spiritual guides. Your spiritual guides accept you as you are. So you could be, it's not exactly the, we're drawing right now family, we're drawing the higher understanding and higher acceptance. And I want you to like start from the deep blue to the pale blue and from the red. And it doesn't, like, you will see how much more complex and deeper the rest of the colors will become when you explore, like when you do this gradient experiment.
Okay.
It's just a paper after all.
Yeah, exactly.
Coming back to my cosmos and my spiritual guides. And Tanya, another thing that you can do, especially with zigzags, you can create flow. You can create this, expand your red colors or blue colors on sides, and just make sure that those emotions go through you, but not stuck inside of you. And it will flow, because emotions like water. If we suppress them and they stay in stagnation, they will become a swamp. And swamp is very poisonous. So we really want to be a stream. Even if they're intense, it's much easier when we just let them go through us, but not trying to suppress them. Okay, what else I want to do? And sometimes, like when we feel that everything is so nice and cheerful around you, that really does not bring the peace to you, like it really brings another wave of anger and disappointment, you always have a chance to make everything a little bit darker around. Like really to, like for example, for this star that I'm drawing, it can be only a star when everything is dark outside. It's when it's everything is shiny and beautiful, it's much harder to recognize. It doesn't mean that it not exist, but it's harder to see. So it's one of the realizations that I have, that live in darker time, it's an opportunity to be visible. which could be very controversial to some people, but it's this is what it is. And I just accept this as a fact. And I like that there is a lot of different green colors that I use. Gives me feel of heart opening. And wonder how many other stars and the spiritual guides that I have, because star has billions of, like the sky has billions of stars. I want to see them. And another thing that, like for me, for example, the discovery that I used to think that spiritual guides should be very light and very pastel, let's say, like not intense, because they are so evolved. And right now, looking at my drawing, I feel like there is anything but pastel about my drawing. Everything is so intense, and I like it because it's first of all it represents how I feel at this moment. Okay. So we have about 30 more minutes. And if you have any questions, let me know. We still have some things to do, some steps to finish. And if you don't finish during the class, it's okay. Take your time, enjoy your drawing. Like really, there's no force to finish in certain time. You can, it's a big issue, big theme that we're bringing today. And it's okay to take time and process it. Be gentle to you, don't force. And you don't have to color everything. Remember, I'm like have the tendency to finish to color every small segment, but it's not need to be. And if you don't want to finish to color everything, like white is a very beautiful color as well. And if you don't feel like you have enough energy to start even coloring today, set aside the drawings, like enjoy the lines, and maybe in a day or maybe in a week, in a month, you will finish the coloring. I want some gentleness. For those who is doing Neurographica first time, when we color or we unite several segments with color. So we don't color each segment separately. We usually unite at least 2-3 areas together, so we have a bigger picture. Each color usually represents some kind of emotions or qualities, feelings. There is some ancient Asians studying that the different colors may represent even different organs, but I'm not a big expert in it, so I'm not going to there, and I have no medical degree, so I'm not going to do any analytics about organs and diseases related to the colors. But emotions, I can give you some feedback if you want to, but always double check, does it resonate with your feelings? Does it resonate with your intuition? If you don't feel comfortable, please ignore my suggestions, because what you feel is more important. Okay, and I will keep a little bit white so I have some room to breathe. So I want you to show a couple more steps that you can do when you finish the coloring. And one of the steps is, as always, we have, as I already told you before, that everything has a vibration, and we want to align ourselves to the universal vibration. So we want to be at the right place at the right time, to meet the right people, to feel aligned with the, synchronized with the universe, with the creator, with the higher self, with the oneness. And we're creating like this, the universe has a bigger line, it's a bigger movement, bigger wave, and it can go and just highlight the lines that you have already, Or you can, for example, this one, I just created a new line. And for size of a letter, you need 2-3 lines. So, because if it will be much more, you will be overwhelmed. And it's, of course, it's created new corners. And we just start rounding those corners. Because the universe and synchronicity with universe need to be integrated inside of us. We need to be very gentle because universe could be quite demanding. So we want to be attuned to what it's trying to tell us. Where does it want to guide us? And feel. Usually when I do the lines, they called field lines, but you can call them universal lines, or you can call them divine lines. Which way is more comfortable for you? And have this meaning. There will be recording, and if you need to watch it again, so please feel free. Give me a couple, like at least 24 hours, so it will be uploaded. It goes in 3 different steps. My computer is processing it, it's uploading to YouTube, and it's YouTube is processing it, so it's a little bit time-consuming process. But it's as soon as I will have on my Facebook page, it will be, I post a link, so you can find it on YouTube, Anna Romanenko Healing Art. And there are other videos as well with different exercises. The only video that I did not post there, that is from our last class. On Friday, we did a class on Good Friday, and everybody dived so deep that there was many personal discoveries. As usually there is always personal discoveries, but for that one, somehow I don't feel comfortable to put it in the public, open public format. So we will repeat another exercise maybe next week. So please let me know of any questions. And I almost integrated my field lines to my star. And if you have any questions after drawing or after watching the video, you always can reach me by email or on Facebook with Messenger, I'm trying to reply as soon as possible.
No wonder you're exhausted with communication.
But it's not exactly what the communication that exhausts me, because this is really gives me energy. This particular classes gives me energy, but all the rest is because I'm right now is involved in a very long course, educational course, and like there is other courses that I tried to attend, and they have a lot of my day usually starts at 7 a.m. till midnight, and I'm so grateful that for last 3 days I was able at least to sleep a little bit extra, because it was a little bit overwork. So it's nothing really has changed, because I'm always been like this, and it's just reminding me like that you need to take care of yourself, like schedule the routines, what is important. Have a walk, have enough sleep, eat well, healthy eat, and rest enough, because this is just another understanding. But I'm glad we have these meetings, because it's I learned a lot about myself. And like today, for example, I wasn't sure what kind of theme I'm going to draw. And thanks to Natalia that she said like, oh, I want to draw the communication with the spiritual guides. And like, oh, maybe I will do it as well. So this is I learning that how it goes. And there is no better teachers than students. So thank you for being here and for sharing your experiences. They are very inspiring as well. Okay. It's probably first time when I finished the drawing in one sitting, like during the class. I usually have, after the class is over, I still drawing, I still adding something else to it. And today I'm finishing it, which is very good, making me feel proud of myself.
How did you do the white lines on your previous drawing for the other communication? Was it a pencil that you used? Or?
So this are white marker, Japanese one. So, and I really find that it could be very helpful when we're doing, when the drawing is very dark and nothing really can help. You need, but you still want to help. You still want to feel this lightness and inspiration. So I want to show you one of my very favorite drawings. I use this white color. Okay, wait. I need to find it. Yeah, I see. There is I quite use the white color, so there is more.
Oh, this one is on the Facebook picture, right?
Maybe. So I posting some of it, but not all of them. So my favorite is this one,
Oh,
and
this
it's
one.
like
Okay,
so.
this
And there is a the same white color that is like I feel that it's completely different quality of energy that I'm involving. So I used to I love to use metallic colors, but metallic colors are very harsh to integrate. Like they could be very dominant, and it's usually it's like a different layer on top of the drawing. So it's harsh to wave the metallic color into the drawing. So the more I color, the more I use just black and sometimes white. Like I don't use, I used to, there was time when I used white all the time. Now I'm very cautious about it because it takes a lot of time and energy to integrate it into the whole drawing. So I want you to be aware of it. But you can play with different materials. Like there's several people ask me about watercolors. Personally, I haven't tried. I know that some of the many people, like many other instructors, use watercolor pencil because they softer and they don't even dissolve them with water, just use them as pencils because colors are more richer and brighter. So you can try to use different materials. I prefer, like, the best color pencils right now that I found is a Prismacolor, and I love to use this dry highlighter Staedtler. So
you say Stadler? Is it Stadler?
yes, yeah. So they usually come. There are some. They're too soft and easy to break, and they require bigger sharpener, bigger hole to sharp because they're wider than regular pencils. But I like how they blend to each other, and the colors are very neon, like very bright. So this is one of my latest findings. Like when we traveled in December, we traveled to Japan with my family, and we ended up we were just walking on the street, and we ended up in a store that were selling the concealer, all the supplies, pencils. Like there is a whole floor of colored pencils and color markers, and it was like a heaven. So I spent so much time and money there. So my husband said, like, you are going to carry on your luggage yourself. I'm going to, like, you will explain why you need the half of suitcase of different pencils. Yeah, this is my addiction. Color pencils and markers. Yeah.
These are great, yeah. The colors are very beautiful.
And sometimes, like what I've found that you can find a quality pencils like Prismacolor. I found them in some store, Ross, Dress for Less. And like they can sometimes sell them in sets, very cheap. And some of the sets could be very cheap on Amazon.com that I found as well. So you don't need to spend too much money to find the quality materials. Even if I do, you don't have to do it. I used to do the oil pastel, tried to do the oil pastel because it's much faster to color, but it's become a little bit messy. So the colors are too thick, and it's very hard to blend them. So I stopped using. But when I was just beginning, I wanted to color so much and so fast that it was an option as well. Okay. So do you want to share your drawings?
Yes, I would like to. And
Okay.
I have some feelings that although I kind of sustain my original shape, there is no big difference between me and the rest of the society, I put it. So the lines are almost the same. I'll show you. You tell me, what do you kind of intuit?
Okay. So first of all, what I see that when you dissolve yourself in the society, and like it's about dissolving, and I'm glad that you are able to let go this very strict boundaries that you are holding at the beginning, that now you can decide, now you can allow yourself to be bigger and more harmonious, that you really, there is a almost circled shapes around, like if you expand yourself, you could even bigger and include whatever you feel belongs to you.
Exactly what I see now. Yeah, thanks.
So, and if you want, like the healthy boundaries still be very important. We don't need to be dissolved completely, but you can use different colors to identify your shape, and it will be more, maybe more harmonious for you. Okay.
Thank you.
I'm like,
thank you so much.
I'm very curious how it's going to look when you will color it. The lines are so bold and very strong. Like you, when you say something, people cannot ignore it.
Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. On Friday, we will be moving into a new house, but I'll join in next time.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Good luck on your move.
Yeah, good
Thank
luck.
you. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Stay safe.
Oh my. Oh my. I love it. So there is a really sun is rising, and you are bathing in this sun rays. Okay, so it's interesting how the green lines that you have, this small like shapes, skinny shapes of green color, it looks like an anchor to me. Like you see that there is the curve on bottom, and there is a lines on top. So it's really, it's everything is kind of it has a sense of grounding.
Good.
Like the whole family needs grounding.
That's like my favorite feeling.
Yes. So, and it's you know that usually I give the interpretation that yellow is a intellect and mental, But in your case, from what I see, it's a different sense of yellow. It's more about consciousness. So there is a little bit more awareness and understanding. It's an acceptance what it is. So, and I like that the orange color is it's a different color. So like you really see the whole family now.
Oh, good.
And there is no question who is where. Everybody is, and everybody is connected. Like a little bit older one is a distant, but there is still be some movement between you and your husband and him. So it's like there's still be connection. So there is no just by itself. And everybody is the same quality, the same colors, and it's
and they're actually all different, but it's all kind of like a version of blue.
It's good.
Yeah,
it's good because for me, like over the screen, it looks like very organic.
Oh, good.
And so, and it's everything is balanced. So you already did the field lines, yes?
I did.
You can make them. You can make them even bolder because they can be even more profound. So if you want, but if you feel like it's enough support.
No, I like support.
Enough support. So right now it feels everything is balanced. So yeah, I would not even change anything. So
not even add thicker field lines?
It's up to you because if you have like if you feel that you need a lot of like really miracle, I want miracles. It's the very thick lines is hard to integrate because it's more not about having much help from outside, from the universe, but be able to integrate help what you have right now, what the universe gives you.
Yeah.
And it could be small specks of help from different people. And it will be enough. Like if you have a little, 1 teaspoon of help from the 1,000 people, it will be more than a bucket from one person that just like dumped it on your head. You like when we have the tendency like not accepting everything that we're receiving. So small portions usually more like more digestible, I would say. So, and you can stay with these drawings and maybe tomorrow see, do you want to make them thicker or not?
Okay.
It's up to you. What the next step we are going to do, like which shape would you make more noticeable? Like what, like when you look at the drawing, what do you want to see the first? What is the most important on your drawing?
It's funny, I really like all the shapes in this one. This shape.
Make your husband then a little bit more bolder for you. So you pay more attention and just pay attention to him, like see what other qualities that maybe you're missing, because we are so have this pattern of oh, I know about this man, everything, he is not capable of this and that. Like allow yourself to be surprised by him.
Okay.
So it could be another love story.
I love it.
Okay, anybody else? Are you ready to share yours?
There you go.
Wait, let me find who is, oh, Kenny. So, okay, I love that it's very, there is a flow everything is at flow, everything is a movement. And you remember that we at the very beginning you were trying to recognize what is the top, what is the bottom.
Right.
So how do you feel right now? Everything is kind of integrated, and it still be very unique. Everything still be very unique. So notice that all these field lines are crossing at very edge of integration, your higher self, yourself, and your lower self. There is a very bold crossing. All three lines and field lines just show you where to look, like where to bring your focus, your attention. So it's really about integration of all aspects, not just the higher self, but your body and your shadows as well. So everything, and it's interesting that lower self is really looks like a shadow, because all of this is very important for you, and everything gives you unity and sense of wholeness. And I love this pink, very beautiful pink heart on side. Yes, yes.
This is also, I considered this a heart too, right in here.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That's why I did it.
Very gentle, very innocent. Like this baby pink is has this very gentle flavor of gentleness, gentle flavor of gentleness. My vocabulary is struggling, and it's still there is a sense of a colorful sun. You still have this it's your theme to be a sun, but this sun is more interesting than just a yellow sun or orange sun. This has a different qualities, different. It's a rainbow sun.
I was trying to bring all of the colors from both sides in to the exterior as well. So
yeah.
So I tried to balance it with bringing the blue, down here, like we talked about on the last class,
mm-hmm.
bringing the colors from the inside to the outside, and so
mm-hmm.
that's what I was trying to do. So then the orange and the green, I wanted to bring those up here to balance as well, and then have the purple and blue come down here to balance.
Yes, and I love it, because this is very interesting for such person. Like, I love that you allow yourself express everything that you have inside, not just a funny and bright aspects, but depthness of your understanding, depthness of your, do I pronounce it wrong? Okay, so like how deep you could be.
The depth?
Depth, yeah. So this is a very important, and like you can look at your picture and still be finding new connections, different color, how different colors are neighbors to each other, and
I just saw another heart.
Yes, and it's like you always will find something new just by looking when you have integrated all three qualities inside of you. So I want you to recognize what is your lower self, like what is your shadow side, because there is great resources in this qualities. Like I did exercise and I loved it, that like when you there is some people in your life that you feel uncomfortable with, write down the list what you are uncomfortable, what you really don't like about them, and when you make a list, write a I before each quality, that I do this, I do that, and act it out this quality, like be grotesque as much as possible and try to find the resource in those qualities, because they trying to tell you what you ignore in yourself and other people just reflect it. I love it. Like what do you want to recognize first when you look at your drawing? What do you want to see? This what is the most important, do you think?
Well, my eye goes to the heart, but I kind of designed it that way. So
it could be new relationship that is show up in your surroundings.
And feeling supported here.
Mm-hmm.
Feeling connected and supported.
I would not be surprised, because like you discover so much sides of you that people will notice it as well and will resonate with it. So I love it, like very beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kenny, for sharing. Okay.
Okay, so my turn?
Yes, your turn.
You still have time?
Yes, yeah, we'll finish.
Okay. So this is what happened.
Okay. It's many lines, many lines. Let me see. So I love that how you blending colors, how some of the colors really integrating to each other. That there is no really with some of them there is no really defined edge, like especially when you green and yellow, when you're blending them, there is an integration, but not really strict boundaries about kindness. So you have to be aware that it could be an indication that emotional boundaries, and it's not just that you that you allow others to cross your boundaries, but you can cross the others' boundaries as well.
Mm-hmm.
You need to know about it, and it's nothing. You just have to be aware of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because when we don't feel our boundaries very strongly, we don't feel when we're crossing somebody else. Just because we don't recognize where we're ending and where we're going. So
yeah,
this is there is no judgment about it. Just be aware of it. I love how strong are field lines. Like there is no question about like where they are. So this purple, pink, purple triangle that's like a comet.
Yeah.
Comet is crossing the sun. Yes, it's I don't even it's a triangle. I don't feel that it's aggression. It's definitely a movement, and it could be unexpected movement, but there is a sense of deeper understanding. So something that can appear that could be striking, but it could be necessity. So you have to be aware of it. Where do you think you belonging now? Where are you now?
No, that's it's everywhere. I think so. The whole it looked like a bird. So this was one, and the other wing of the bird at some point, just flying.
Mm-hmm.
I see a beak.
It could be big, yeah, it could be, but it's the bird. Okay, so bird. What kind of quality about bird do you like the most?
The flying part. Being
So,
free.
freedom.
Freedom, yes.
So it's more about freedom, but the bird is not just flying, the bird is singing as well. And you need to learn how to express your emotion through words. And it's not necessary you need to express them to like go to a person and talk to them about emotions. You just need to let go the voice, like in shower, sing in a shower, or when you drive in a car, or like just don't, because you see, if it's a big, it still be closed. So open it and just express it. And especially when you at the beginning, there was a lot of contraction and limitations in your throat. So I think it's very important for you to just make any sound, even just humming. Humming could be very emotional. So, and it's very healing as well. So I love that there is a huge circle, and it's that you still be part of the circle. And this interesting, very gentle, very innocent circle on top of the,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. This one.
It's like really, this is what brings my attention, like really focus is going there. Like it has this quality of a pearl, the pink pearls, which are the most precious, and it's what it could be. I'm don't even know what it could be for you right now, but it's there. You just need to be aware that you have so much precious gifts around you, and that you are much bigger than you are at the beginning. So so try to focus. What do you want to see when you, what is the most important you want to see when you look at your drawing? It could be a triangle, it could be circle, whatever, or some small parts.
Yeah, I'll think about it. Yeah.
Think about it, and maybe you close a little bit like eyes and look through your at your drawing and see what is really coming forward. This is some of the shape really bring forward themselves, like something wants to be noticeable. And I love that it's there is no it's a very bright picture, but there is no really contrast. Everything is in nuances, and everything is changing, and there is a movement in how colors changing. Everything is just emotions are very dynamic here. But from what I see, they are not overwhelming dynamic. So they're moving in the way it should be. So just, but more important what you feel.
Yes, I feel the same way, and I was surprised to have lots of darker color. Usually I have a lot of white, and now everything is colored. I don't usually do this.
Everything, yeah, everything has its own qualities, and everything is defined. That's good that you experimented.
Definitely, thank you.
Okay, so other people, we lost some of them, and I think that's all we need for today. Do we have any other questions? Let's me.
Thank you so much, Anna.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I'll see you next week. And if you have any questions, or if you decide to make another drawing about it, let's me. So if you decide to do another drawing with the same exercise and have questions, please let me know. So I will be happy to help you. And do we have anything that's like very important for you? So what do you want to work on next time? Because I want to listen to you. So what would be interesting for you? Do you think any ideas?
What about healing physical body?
Healing physical body.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. I will think about it.
You know, something that even, you know, helps with like, yeah, drainage of, you know, lungs, keeping all that healthy.
Okay, so I will think about it, and I just will decide which exercise would be the best for it.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, girls.
Thank you.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
As the French say, au revoir.
As the French say, au revoir.